In this video, I'm going to break down a YouTube video ad that has over 10 million views and probably has generated at least $5 to $10 million in revenue. Before we get into this, make sure to hit that like button and smash the subscribe button so I can keep making videos like this every single week for you. To give you a good idea of the offer, this is basically a trading offer. He teaches people how to do Forex trading. There may be some software on the back end, I'm not sure, but from what I understand, it's mostly a course and a program on how to trade Forex. What I really want you to emphasize about this video ad is how good this guy is at really creating great marketing hooks. So let's start by watching this ad.
The world is entering into an economic recession. Market volatility is at an all-time high.
So immediately, the first two sentences he says grabs your attention because nobody likes recessions, right? Anytime anybody says the world is entering into a recession, people pay attention because they have bad memories from the last recession in 2008. So a lot of these financial experts, right, and these kind of people who sell stock programs or they do kind of stock picking, etc., they often use these big macro trends as kind of hooks, right? Because whenever people start talking about, hey, a recession's coming, that's when these hooks do really well. Now, what's interesting is he says that, but then he also says
that is when there's a huge opportunity in the market.
So he grabs your attention by saying there's a recession coming and you're like, oh shoot, that sucks. And then he says there's a huge opportunity in the market. So that's actually what he does is he grabs your attention with the fear of loss, and then he actually introduces this potential gain, right? Because usually with recessions, things just go to crap. So this guy really understands kind of the psychology of people, right? That's one of these recurring themes that I've often seen that people latch onto, is that this idea that every recession, there's a lot of people who make a lot of money. And if you're smart, you can make money in a recession. So he kind of grabs onto that whole meme out there, right?
Most people are learning to trade the stock market during this period. But did you know that the stock market daily volume of $84 billion is nothing compared to the Forex market daily volume of $5.1 trillion?
So he's introducing the opportunity, which is Forex, and he does this with, again, very simple language, and by comparing it to the stock market by saying, hey, there's so much more volume in the Forex market, and that's why it's better, because, you know, it's a bigger market.
That's 60 times bigger. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be a small fish in a big market than a big fish in a small market.
Again, that's easy to understand. Small fish in a big market rather than a big fish in a small market. This guy really is taking this whole complex trading Forex stuff and breaking it down in a very easy manner. People actually click through and watch his webinar where he kind of will obviously sell them on his programs. Even if you're selling something technical or complex, it's really important to be able to take these complex kind of concepts and ideas like, you know, these market sizes and market caps and break them down into easy to understand languages using analogies and metaphors that people can understand.
It's just so much easier that way. Hi, my name is Justin Ho and I'm the CEO and founder of Vincero Investment Academy.
So as you notice, he doesn't introduce himself until around 40 seconds in, which is good because he's hooked people's attention with everything he said before this, and now he's actually introducing himself. But notice that he's not just going to introduce himself.
I have over 7 years of institutional trading experience, and I've worked in major investment banks including JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and DBS Bank. I'm also a chartered financial analyst, also known as a CFA, and I hold a master's degree in finance and economics from the London School of Economics.
So this is something to really pay attention to. A lot of these people who sell courses have no qualifications. This guy actually has hard finance qualifications. He's worked for big banks, and he's also got like the pedigree, right? So there are certain cases where, for example, there are certain stock traders that have absolutely no qualifications, and they kind of go with a different story. So their story is, hey, I came from rags to riches. I didn't have any of the insider knowledge. While this guy, he's going with the opposite angle, which is like, hey, I do come in from the inside. I'm bringing you the secrets from these banks, etc., right? So it's important to kind of notice what he does here, but almost always it's better to use credentials and build authority than not doing it. So whatever you have that's kind of impressive, you want to use that in your ad to basically have people trust you. So people see a lot of these kind of ads, and essentially you need to be able to build some sort of authority or trust to be able to actually sell your program.
I want to invite you to my free online class where I'll reveal the exact system I've developed and used to consistently beat the markets. and has made me over 7 figures in capital returns with very little risk. The system is easy to implement and follow, and over 300 students who have had no prior experience have implemented my system and become successful.
So I want you to pay attention to that. He says over 300 of my students, but not only that, he says they had no prior experience, right? So he's kind of breaking down all these beliefs that, hey, I need to have experience with trading to actually do Forex. He's kind of showing that, hey, no, you don't need prior experience. Now, obviously that's, if you're selling some sort of, business opportunity or make money online kind of offer, then that's going to be a common obstacle, is people don't think they can do whatever it is that you're teaching them to do, right? So that's always really important to address.
And here's why you need this. There are more millionaires created during a recession than any other time in the world.
Again, this guy knows how to create good marketing hooks. So this could actually be the beginning of another ad. So he could test another ad where he has that as the hook, which is there are more millionaires created in a recession than any other time. And yeah, he kind of just nails that, because that's something that will, if people are still on the fence, that's going to really intrigue them. That's a really great marketing hook. It grabs people's attention. So I believe his name is Justin Ho. He really knows how to create strong marketing hooks to get people to watch.
Because there's a wealth transfer going on. And now is the time you can position yourself for that transfer. And you need a step-by-step guide. When I first started my journey, I had no mentor to guide me. I made huge losses, and I paid a lot of gurus who didn't have the real experience to back up their claims. But through my background in finance and solid experience in professional investment institutions, I finally developed a system that works for me and has helped me to consistently beat the markets.
So he basically, around 2.5 minutes in, he talks about why he decided to start teaching this to others.
I spend most of my free time educating my friends who are struggling to make ends meet and not living a fulfilled life. When I saw their lives getting transformed and having the freedom to do what they want, with whom they want, it gave me a sense of meaning and purpose in my life. And I've made it my mission to educate more working professionals about my trading system, so that they too can be free from the 9-to-5 job and the uncertainties in the market.
What I liked about what he did there is he kind of addressed a very big common objection, is why are you teaching this, right? Like, why wouldn't you just do this yourself? So his whole angle is, I started teaching my friends and they got really good results and I felt a lot of fulfillment, so that's why I'm teaching you, right? So that's something that does need to be addressed, because a lot of course sellers, obviously, they make a lot more money selling courses than doing what they do. So it is important to address that objection, because that objection will definitely come at a certain point.
All you have to do to sign up for this free online class is to click around this video, fill in some basic information.
So this is the first call to action. It's around 3 minutes in. I would have preferred if he had one call to action, maybe a minute or so in, for the people who are already interested. But as you can see with the call to action, he does a good job of saying, hey, click the link. It's going to be somewhere on the screen. So he's kind of priming them. And then he's also telling them that you have to just fill out some basic information. And that just, again, it's priming them to actually go on the page and take that action.
And my team will send you the details on how you can attend this class.
And he actually gives a reason for it, right? It's basically, hey, if you send this basic information, my team will be able to contact you to get you access to it, right? So it's not like, hey, give me this information. It's more like, this is kind of a logistical thing to get you this information.
There's very limited spaces in this class due to the maximum capacity of our software.
What he basically says is his limited capacity because of the maximum capacity of the software. So again, he has a really good reason for why there's scarcity, right? Because most people will say, hey, there's only this many limited slots, but they don't give a reason for that, right? While in this case, for every kind of persuasion trigger he puts in there, he will provide a reason. So it's like, hey, there's scarcity, but it's only because of our software. It only allows a certain number of people, right? So it doesn't seem like fake scarcity. It seems like real scarcity. So that's really, really important.
So if you don't want to miss out, then register your slot right now.
So overall, great video ad. So if we take a look at his landing page, it actually seems like this is an actual live webinar, because there's only one time slot and it's like in 8 hours. So this is pretty cool that he's actually doing a live webinar. And as I've said, lately live webinars have been doing quite well. So this is actually something that probably is working well for him. I would actually try doing live webinars if you haven't done them yet, because as compared to automated webinars, they do get higher conversion rates and opt-in rates. And yeah, this opt-in page is pretty good. He has kind of student results here, so that kind of addresses objections. He has a video here, which explains what he's going to teach on the webinar. And again, the headline's really good: how to take advantage of the economic recession and empower yourself financially by copying my simple, tried and tested trading system. So he's making it sound easy. Take advantage of the economic recession, which is kind of the hook he mentioned in the ad. So he's keeping it congruent. And then he also says without any prior trading knowledge, which is dealing with the biggest objection people have, which is I've never traded before, so is this for me? So overall, I'd say like a 8 out of 10 ad and a 8 out of 10 landing page. It's working well. Clearly, he's spent quite a bit. I'm guessing he's probably spent a few $1,000,000 on this. Yeah, props to him for really creating a funnel that works. So guys, I hope you learned a couple things from that funnel. Make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the like button so I can keep making more of these video ad breakdowns for you.